When young leaders step up, communities rise. In Mpigi district, the Rotary Club of Kigo 7 Lakes is doing exactly that, answering the call of a school making room for children with special needs. Today on Impact Uganda, we follow the club's bold commitment to Wisdom Hub Nursery and Primary School as they move from assessment to action, proving that compassion, when organized, becomes power.
All right, thank you. Like you heard our name, Special Children, Special People. We started this project to support children with special needs. But through the years, we realized that we are getting a lot of stigma from mainstream schools. They didn't want our children to attend their schools. Basically because many still think that mental related conditions are contagious. So because schools are business related, so head teachers always faced challenges, parents threatening to take their children away from their schools, and so they chose to send our children back. With that experience, we chose to start a school that is inclusive, and because then we were in Kampala, it was really hard, we didn't have that space. So when we came to Mpigi, we had that in mind, and straight away we started a school basically to create awareness to the community and maybe to the country at large that children with special needs can freely and socially interact with their peers without any problem. Of course, the first challenge is stigma. Even when we came in here, we experienced the same, but we hung in there, and eventually people are starting to realize that children, much as they have special needs, they can be somebody in future. So the main challenge, and probably this could turn into an appeal, is we need to give equal opportunities to children, no matter their ability. This is an opportunity that we need, first of all, to thank Kigo Rotary. Projects like this lack visibility from the public. So if Kigo Rotary is coming out, first of all, what we are even receiving now is visibility. It would be really hard for us to find the means of getting you down here. But when we get visibility, everything is going to connect in a certain way. So thumbs up to Kigo. That is a good question, but most times I take it back to your home. Imagine you're in a home and you have children. So they are some of the basic necessities: food, clothing, children and medication, among others. But away from that, we would love to transform this center into a center of excellence, whereby maybe other special needs centers can come and learn on what we're able to do here. promoting inclusion at all levels. Of course, starting an inclusive school in a community is already involving the community, because of course at least every communities around here know what goes on here on a daily basis. But we also have social workers that move out to the community, spreading awareness about disability, mental disability. So we have meetings, we also engage in community activities, and every time we get an opportunity, we talk about mental disability. Largely, people knew disability being physical, but when we talk about autism, much as we've not found a right word to interpret autism, but we try to explain. So you'll find that someone is going to look at a child and say, but what is wrong with this kid? We thought the kid is just stubborn. So we try as much as possible to create awareness about mental disability.
From peeling walls to packed dorms, Rotary Kigo isn't just pointing out problems, they're rolling up their sleeves and getting to work. More after the break. Welcome back. Before the break, we met the Rotaractors of Kigo 7 Lakes, young changemakers taking on a school's biggest challenges. Now, we unpack their phased intervention strategy, starting with the basics: beds, benches, and dignity.
Yes, my name is Bali Eddie, a member of the Rotaract Club of Kigo 7 Lakes Golf, and I'm serving on the board as the project director. The first phase of the project, because that first phase of the project, it focuses more on, improving the standards of living of these children, especially the ones with special needs. The people that have come here before have done a very great job at helping out, but once we came here, we also came to realize that there's still a lot more work to be done, and most people focus on the structure of the place, the structure of where they're going to be staying or studying, whether they have scholastic materials and all that, and they tend to forget that on a daily basis there's a standard that these children need to, I wouldn't say live up to, but there's a standard of living, that basic standard of living that any human deserves, especially now with these children with special needs. And so for me personally, that's the part of the project that excites me the most and that I'm more eager to work on. We've seen that the people at Wisdom Hub have done a really good job so far, and we've also seen that there's still a lot more work to be done. And when we did our needs assessment, what we decided to do was also based on our capacity as a Rotary Club of Kigo 7 Lakes Golf. But there's still so many challenges. Like I've said before, we only focused on just working on the basic standards of living. But from what we've seen, even their security is not good. They don't have a fence. We actually asked the director of the school, and security is by God's grace, and that's handling something like that, requires some serious funding. Then another thing, another challenge is also even the second phase of the project that we intend on embarking on. Even the second phase we intend on embarking on involves raising a whole block you know, and that is also a huge project, and we intend to embark on this journey with the help of everyone that is willing to partner with us, and with the partners that we already have and that are already helping us.
Ronald Mubera's life changed forever when he was just 7. Abandoned by his mother and left in the care of his elderly grandmother, he struggled not just with poverty, but with the developmental challenges that made daily life even harder. That's when special children, special people stepped in. Ronald had never been to school, but with therapy and one-on-one support, he began learning basic life skills, then reading, writing, even maths. He was making real progress. When he finally joined a mainstream school, we thought he was ready. But the school wasn't. Due to stigma and fear, Ronald was rejected and sent home. That painful moment sparked a new idea, Wisdom Hub Inclusive Primary School, where children with and without disabilities learn side by side. Today, Ronald is in Primary 4. He's thriving, reading, solving math problems, and helping others. His journey reminds us that when you focus on what a child can do, not what they can't, the results are extraordinary.
Which subject do you like most?
Mathematics.
Why do you like mathematics?
Because
Yes.
I'm studying it
Okay. Where is your mom?
at my home.
Is at your home?
Kasese,
Then your dad,
Kasese,
your grandmother.
Kasese.
My name is Kato Issa. I am the Charter President of the Rotary Club of Kigo 7 Lakes Cough. I enjoy doing Rotary work. I like volunteering. I am an IT specialist. That is my career. And when I'm not there, I am volunteering in Rotaract. The vision that we had for chartering Kigo 7 Lakes Golf is that we wanted a club for young professionals who not only come together to talk about what they do and everything, but also to do sustainable projects that benefit the community. The community being the people we stay with, our homes, generally our immediate communities. So we want to do a project at Wisdom Hub that fits in the vision that we had, that was to create impact, to support our communities, that with the few resources that we control and the influence that we might have, that we support these communities. This project comes at a time whereby our district Rotary representative, Aleba Kanyonza, has championed a project called Uplift. This project is geared onto basic education. Basic education is an area in Rotary where we take care and support schools, we support children, we also support each other to make sure that we have a better life in terms of education. We also have behavioral change in terms of how we do education and all that. So this is a project that aligns with the Rotary areas of focus that are 8 in number. So doing this project is really in line with what we want to achieve. I think it is what we call it is one of the KPIs in terms of impact, because we've touched it and that is our impact. Doing this project identifies us as people that support one another, people that support our government, people that support the areas that we live in. We want to be identified and known as young people who not only supported, but young people who cared about our immediate communities. Yeah, supporting Wisdom Hub aligns with Kigo 7 Lakes Golf. We want Wisdom Hub to be our community, not only our community, but our family that we belong to. We have told the community at Wisdom Hub that we not only want to build Wisdom Hub, but we also want them to be a part of us. So this is our community, and we want to identify as Wisdom Hub. Kigo 7 Lakes Golf and Wisdom Hub are one community, and that is the legacy that we want to leave behind. We want to leave a legacy that says we did good, we did great, we supported, we created impact, and created a future that we would hope for these children to have.
They've seen the gaps. Now they're building solutions. Coming up, phase 1 of the Rotary Club plan for change at Wisdom Hub School. Thank you for staying with us. We're back at a Wisdom Hub where action is already underway. From repainting classrooms to restoring hope, see how phase 1 is setting the foundation for long-term transformation.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Louise Shamima Dieri, and I'm the president of the Rotary Club of Kigo 7 Lakes Golf. We found Wisdom Hub from Solutions Now Africa. Being a president, we are tasked to carry on different projects, and I was a fellow at the Media Challenge Initiative Fellowship of the 7th cohort, and we have a newsroom called Solutions Now Africa. So I watched a story about this specific school. First of all, whoever knows me is aware that I am passionate about children. People's children, to be specific. And to make it more interesting, these are not only the normal children. We have children with special needs. So it is something that caught my eye when I watched the story. And our DRR, Ms. Aleba Kanyonza, really showed us her interest about basic education and literacy in her year of service. So it was a combination of me being passionate about children and the DRR's theme. Then I pitched to my club and they picked on the project. So just like I earlier mentioned, I identified the school. I pitched to my club members and we did our very first needs assessment. We came to the school, looked at the areas where we would intervene. Just like we mentioned, they have children with special needs and mainstream children. So we looked at areas in our capacity as young Rotary actors, areas that we could look at. They have issues with toilets, they have issues with classrooms, they have issues with paying off workers, they have issues with accommodation, beddings, basic needs like food, clothes. Then they also have issues with classrooms, because if you look at the P4 and P5 classrooms, they are really not in good condition. So when we sat down in our capacity, we identified what can we solve, what is that problem that we can look at immediately. We looked at working on classrooms, and specifically we looked at working on the basic needs for the children, because our project is really children based. So we looked at what can we really do for these children. Are we able to intervene and pay school fees for a few children? Can we change maybe their sleeping conditions? Can we provide them with beddings? Can we provide them with scholastic materials? The children with special needs are very happy with coloring things like crayons, color books. What are those things that we can look at immediately? And those are the things that we identified, things to do with renovating the classrooms, providing basic needs in the very first phase, because we are deciding on taking on this project for a long term. So we are beginning with the very, very urgent things, just like the headmaster mentioned. And with time, we'll come back and do the bigger projects that include classrooms and making Wisdom Hub part of Kigo 7 Lakes Golf. So our long-term vision, when the project finally kicks off and we hit all the phases we are looking at, currently they have up to primary 5, and in our conversations with the headmaster, they mentioned that they're even struggling to maintain up to P5, so it is hard for them to have up to P7. So when the children are done with P5, there is no specific school that they attach the children to, so they spread over and go to different places. So our long-term vision, looking at a place where we have kicked off everything that we planned, is to look back and see that, okay, the children no longer stop from P5, they have up to P7, the P6, P7 classroom block is put up, and they have a center number, and the children are able to study from nursery up to P7. So we are currently in the planning phase because we've not yet done our implementation of the first phase. What we've done is we've done needs assessment twice. We went there as the first group, then we went there with many of the club members to really see what is on ground. We are planning, collecting the funds, putting the funds together, having the final arguments with the headmaster, and clearly understanding the very urgent areas that need to be worked on. And I and my team are planning on implementing the first phase of the project. So in the long run, we are looking at having more partnerships with different Rotary and Rotary clubs, partnering with our very own mother club, the Rotary Club of Kigo 7 Lakes Golf, and having many other Rotary clubs on board to make sure that the impact is a very significant impact. So in the long run, we look at partnering with more Rotary and Rotary clubs.